After its debut as weightlifting in the Tokyo 1964 Paralympic Games, the sport, now known as powerlifting, expanded from just male lifters with a spinal cord injury to include athletes with physical impairments that affect their lower limbs or hips, or athletes with short stature. Female powerlifters made their Paralympic debut in 2000. Powerlifting is the ultimate test of upper body strength, and you'll often see athletes lifting more than 3 times their own body weight. Powerlifters are split into 10 different categories based on body weight for each gender. Powerlifting consists of one discipline, a bench press. Unlike the able-bodied sport where athletes use their feet on the floor to assist the bench press, Paralympic athletes lie totally flat on a completely different style of bench. Each competitor has 2 minutes to complete their attempt. When the lifter has the bar under full control, they must wait until they receive the command, start. Start! Then they have to lower the bar in a controlled manner and definitively stop it on the chest. Next, they press it upwards, lock out both elbows simultaneously and hold the bar under control until the referee's command to wrap. At least 2 white lights are required from 3 referees for a good lift. A red light indicates a bad lift. Athletes have 3 attempts, and the winner is the athlete that lifts the heaviest weight. In the 3rd round, 2 weight changes are permitted. The weight change can be higher or lower. No changes are allowed if the lifter has already been called to the platform by the speaker, and or if the bar has already been loaded. To attempt a new record, it must exceed the previous one set by a minimum of 0.5 kilograms. Where a world record is broken during the actual 3 lifts of competition, the 0.5 kilograms does not count towards the competition total, but is rounded down to the full kilogram. The jury may allow a 4th attempt for a world record. This adds suspense to the competition, as a lifter could break the world record but may not win gold. Powerlifting offers a tense and dramatic spectacle where coaches have to be good strategists as their athletes battle to outlift their rivals.
Hello and welcome to the second session on the second day of the 2018 World Powerlifting African Championships, here live from Algiers, the capital of Algeria, at the Hacha Hassan Arena. Great to have you along with us for this swap, where we are now onto the men's up to 59k. We've already had the women's up to 61, where we saw Lucy Ejike defend her title for Nigeria. Egypt getting a silver and a bronze in that as well, but they'll be going for gold here. Sharif Osman, the world record holder in the men's up to 59, not currently on the screen now, but he'll be getting ready for his lift in the not too distant future. Then on there you can see the Nigerian Ibrahim Doda just on the warm-up bench furthest to the left-hand side. But soon they'll be on the main stage. And it's all set and ready for our competitors to take part. There'll be 6 in total. 4 seniors, 2 juniors. The juniors will start us off. And there you can see world record holder Sharif Osman with that lift of 211 in Rio 2016. Askol Ragalpov with the junior world record. Well, that's the start list in its entirety. We have had 1 dropout, Conrad Frederick and Tangana of Cameroon, not starting today. Bakary Diallo as well will be part of this classification, despite the fact he was originally down for the up to 54, just the scales deciding otherwise. But it's going to be a very difficult task for the competitors to stop Sharif Osman defending his African crown. And we're hearing that he's going to go for a very heavy first lift as well as Sharif Osman, so we look forward to that. Day 2 and session 2 of the 2018 World Powerlifting African Championships not too far away at all, and we'll be starting with our first competitor very shortly. So the countdown is complete and we are ready to go with the men's up to 59 kg competition. The bar already set for our first competitor, Ibrahim Doda of Algeria, coming into this weighing in at 58.5 kilos. One of our two junior competitors. And he's aiming for 70k on his first lift. Just 15 years of age, Ibrahim Doda, the English competitor we've got this weekend. Turns 16 at the end of September. So this will be a really good learning curve, whatever happens over the course of the next hour or so, for Ibrahim Doda, in front of his home crowd, get that competition vibe. Let's see how he fares. 3 attempts for each of our athletes, and this is the first for Ibrahim Doda of Algeria. Well, it looks a strong one, and it is as well. Certainly one that to steady any nerves that may have been bubbling up in the veins of Ibrahim Doda. A successful first lift, and now that's out of the way, he'll certainly be excited for his next go. One of 2 Algerians taking part in this weight category. If you've already been watching some of the action in the first 1 and a bit days of these African Championships, you'll have heard how the Algerians are certainly stacking up the roster in each of the weight categories to really give their athletes this competitive experience, and it's already yielded quite a bit of joy for them in terms of medals, but also PBs as well, and general experience. Well, over the course of this weekend, you'll see 88 athletes from 14 countries, and a new country to tick off now, Libya, and Suhul Masoud, the second of our junior competitors to try and raise the bar. 110 is what he's faced with. And he's going it. What could be World record attempt for the juniors. And it's a good lift. $110 the lift. And here's a good one from Sahil Masood. We'll get confirmation on that from Sahil Masood, because the paperwork I've got says that the world record's 211 and the junior world record's 140. That lift of 110 there from Sahil Masood may go down as a junior African record. Moving on now to the second of our Algerian competitors, and the first of our senior ones, Abdelkrim Shibani, oldest competitor in this event at the age of 47, going for a lift of 115. He is capable with this weight, and he was capable there as well with that lift of 115. 3 white lights from the officials. Abdelkrim Shibani finished 10th at the 2010 World Championships. That's the last time we saw him on the international stage. He got a lift under his belt there of 125 on that occasion. 115 this time around, but don't be surprised if by the end of the competition he does tick along close towards that 125 kilo weight. Bakary Diallo up next. Late change of categories for him. He was originally down to be in the up to 54, he's now in the up to 59, which, as you'd expect, makes him the lightest of our competitors, weighing in at 55.8. But he's set himself a target in round 1 of 125 here as the man from Mali. Our first Malian competitor of the weekend. No lift, unfortunately, for Bakary Diallo, and the officials are looking for a strong and steady descent onto the chest, and then a firm lift back up that sees an equal arm extension and lock on the elbows. Officials not seeing that there. See, it was a bit uneven on the way down, the way up as well. It just seemed to be a bit too much. The bar beginning to drift towards the right as we look. but he'll get another attempt at that weight, will Bakri Diallo. So on to our big guns, Ibrahim Doda, the first of them. 160 is the target he's setting himself, which is just under 3 times his own body weight. ...34 years of age. And knows he's going to have his work cut out this afternoon against Sharif Osman. But no doubt he'll give it a right good go and certainly fancy himself for silver, particularly after that failed lift from Bakri Diallo in his first round. No lift, 2-1 against. Unfortunate that for Ibrahim Doda, who originally had down on the start list that he would lift 145, but of course athletes and coaches can change that opening lift right up to 5 minutes before the start of the session. Doda going for 160, but not being able to manage it. And wasn't a very even hold of that bar there. I think he knew it as well. Ibrahim Doda, once he'd racked the bar back up. But you can see that bar is looking quite a bit chunkier now, and that is because it's holding a weight of 195 kilos for Sharif Osman of Egypt, the 35-year-old, the world record holder, with the lift of 211 that he got at the Rio 2016 games, which he got gold at. He's wanting to win the next 3 Paralympic Games, so his work far from done as far as he is concerned. Concentration face. So his ritual before a lift is to slowly walk towards the bench and stare at the bar. So in the last 3 Paralympic Games, also competed at shot put as well, and the world champion from Mexico 2017. He lifted 205 on the way to gold in Mexico, this one 195. And it's a good lift, made pretty light work of that to Sharif Osman. One of the 3 officials not liking what they saw, but 2 of them did, and that's all that counts. For Sharif Osman, the world champion, the reigning Paralympic champion, and the world record holder, off to a fine start. That concludes round 1, and we'll now go back to where we started in round 2. Where up next we will have Ayman Kodja of Algeria. We'll have watched on that at the best in the world at what he does. And what a stage for him to be on, in front of a home crowd, competing against the likes of Sharif Osman. And this is only the start for him. So after mastering 70k, he's now moving on to 80, It's a busy time for the Algerian coaches this weekend. 24 athletes here from the home nation. Ibrahim Doda trying to maintain the good form that they and he himself have managed to attain in the opening exchanges of these championships. I'd be surprised if he gets that. He doesn't. No lift for him, and Kodja just couldn't quite get it up with the smoothness and efficiency he was hoping for. But the fact he did get it up and onto the rack eventually, they give him a few positive incentives going into the final round. He will get one last crack at 80k. Just see, gets it nicely onto the chest, and it's that lift there. It stagnates a wee bit. You can see his left arm, the right as we look at it, just stalling and struggling. So Masoud now going for 115. Still getting information through that this is for a world record, but personally, with the information I have, don't see that being the case. Well, that seemed very simple indeed, and he's got 115. Well, in venue they're saying it's a junior world record, but I've got that down as being from Pascal's Kouloumoglu of Greece, 2014, with a lift of 140, but we'll get that cleared up. No doubting who the world record holder is at senior level. We will be seeing his second lift in a very short while, but one of his competitors up first, that's Abdulkarim Shibani. Now going for 122. So we're seeing him lift here almost the 125k that got him 10th at the World Championships in 2010. Feels like a very long time since we last saw Abdulkarim Shibani, but he's enjoying his return. We don't see many smiling and giving a thumbs up to the crowd before they try and conquer a bar. Abdulkarim Shibani in a very relaxed mood. Well, that helped propel him to this lift here of 122. It looks good. And it is good. So 122 for Abdelkrim Shabani, who's showing he's still got the form of 8 years ago when he was in the top 10 in the world. Good smoothness in that lift. There was no danger of that being given as a no lift at all. Well, he currently is in second because Bakri Diallo and Ibrahim Doda are yet to register a lift. But Diallo hoping that that is now about to change as he once again locks horns with 125. Mali, another example of the National Paralympic Committee that is just ever growing in their presence in Paralympics and Para Championships to come. Promises to get bigger and bigger. Bakri Diallo hoping to be a part of that. The 42-year-old here faced once again with 125k. And it's a good lift. An important one as well for Bakri Diallo, and doesn't he just know it? That'll be a real weight off his back, knowing he's managed to get that 125 out of the way and focus now on an impressive third and final lift. You don't get much time to make an impression in powerlifting. You get 3 lifts and that's all. So really important there for Bakri Diallo that he didn't have to use up a third to conquer his opening weight. Ibrahim Doda will be hoping he can replicate that with his lift now. Still yet to successfully lift, but instead of revisiting the 160 he was unable to conquer previously, he's now upped it to 165. So the confidence is still there for the Nigerian, who really wants to get a silver medal sewn up here. Gold realistically out of the question after Sharif Osman managed to succeed in his first go.
He doesn't want to go out.
Oh, that looked very tidy. It was. While Ibrahim Doda has managed to iron out there any issues that stopped him from succeeding in his first attempt. Very composed lift, and he is back in the silver medal spot. Exactly what you're looking for here, a symmetrical fashion in the way the two arms lock off there. He was strong, he was confident, another important word is controlled. So hats off to Ibrahim Doda. Up next though, Sharif Osman, now going for a lift of 201. This is 10 kilos off of the world record that he set in Rio 2016. I wonder if he'll be waiting for Tokyo 2020 to treat us to another world record. You never know, he may surprise us this afternoon. This man is a brute force. He's also the world record holder in the weight division below, the up to 54 category, with a lift of 205. He only just makes the cut for this weight division, as he is exactly 59k, so has to make sure doesn't accrue too many more grams, otherwise he'll have to then face those in a category above, but I don't think he'd mind that challenge. He is a serial winner, and he looks like he's got the African gold here as well. Can he now make this lift of 201? And again it's good for Sharif Osman. Well, this man is one of the biggest names in world powerlifting. He's a bit of a showman, but today it's not really about the fun for him, it's about getting the work done and conquering by getting gold. And he's done that now. Unless there is a freak of a lift from any of his rivals in the final round. It is an awesome lift, and it's around 3.5 times his body weight. It is frightening what Sharif Osman can lift. Final attempt now for Ayman Kodja. After getting off to a really wonderful start with that lift of 70k, he has stagnated on 80, but will look to get the job done in his final go. Terrific learning curve this for the 15-year-old, not just lifting on a competitive stage in a big arena like this, but also the whole vibe of a championships. Being in the warm-up area beforehand, that anxious wait for your lift, seeing some of those terrific names in your weight division go alongside you. And of course, upping the ante, pushing himself to get the best possible lift he can. He'll challenge this on 80k. 21.5k superior to his own body weight. Again, it looked like a struggle, and no lift, the verdict from the officials, but nevertheless a lift of 70k, and the whole experience of this home African Championships will leave him with plenty of reasons to reflect positively from his competition. As Ayman Kodja departs the stage, we see that lift again and just couldn't quite muster the strength to get that bar up in a fashion which pleases our officials. think he knew it as well, didn't he? As soon as he put that bar on the rack. Big moment this for Sahil Masood, because the minimum qualifying standard for Tokyo 2020 to keep on that pathway for the next Paralympic Games is to get 125k, and that's what he's going for now. After already succeeding in 110 and 115, his next stop is 125. So this for the junior African record. Will he be able to make it 3 successful this from 3? Oh yes, he will, and he's met that minimum qualifying standard as well with 125, and that's a really good day's work there from Sahil Masood. Coach grabs that big mane of hair as he exits the stage. But a really sturdy lift and a junior African record for the 20-year-old. 125. Well, he's currently in the senior competition, tied in 3rd position with Bakri Diallo on 125. Abdul Karim Shibani's not giving up his hopes of a senior bronze here, and he is to come next. And he's going for 127. Well, we've had 15-year-old Raymond Kocha, and we've had 47-year-old Abdul Karim Shibani. This competition has been really good and accurate reflection of this fledgling Algerian para-powerlifting programme. Now he seems to fight off there. Temptation to not see that one through, but still not enough from Abdul Karim Shibani, who will not come away from these games with a medal. His best lift standing at 122, which puts him behind Sahil Masood. So now Bakri Diallo is about to come to the stage and lift for bronze, and he's set himself quite a target. Bakri Diallo, I'm surprised by this. 140, took him 2 attempts to get to 125, and now he's jumping up to 140. So if he pulls this off, Bakri Diallo, then you've got to give him a pat on the back. This is bold stuff from the Mali athlete. shows that it's not just about the medals here, because it's confirmed he's got a bronze medal now, should he lift this. He could have easily set himself a target of just 1k heavier than his previous lift. Instead he's gone 15k heavier. So 140 for Bakary Diallo to seal the bronze medal. And that's not going to be a good lift. Routine decision that for the umpires. He will still get a bronze medal anyway, because on the head-to-head with Sahil Masood, he is lighter by 0.9k. So Bakary Diallo has a bronze medal. Just couldn't quite see it out with a lift of 140, but nevertheless a good enough day's work for him. See that the official telling two assistants spotting the bar there to rack it up before Diallo had even got it up. The decision in that sense had already been made. So our silver medalist Ibrahim Doda now looking to finish with a flourish. 175 is his target. He was coming into today that was really mission impossible to take gold away from Sharif Osman. He's going for a big lift here. Three lots of 25 on either side of the bar. The bar itself, of course, weighing 25 in itself. Big stuff this for Ibrahim Doda of Nigeria. And it was good as well. The silver medalist does indeed finish with a flourish. 175, his best lift today. Arms aloft, relief evident. And he'll be back smiling on the podium in a wee while. Just about managed it. His right arm, the left as we look, was flirting with the possibility of not quite making it back up again. But job done for Ibrahim Doda of Nigeria. And Sharif Osman is the African champion once again. He's now going for 206. Now if he does get this, he can persuade the jury we've got here of having a fourth lift to get a world record. All of our athletes are able to do that, whether they've won or not. A world record of 211. He's now going for 206. So I wonder if he masters this, if we will see an encore from Sharif Osman. I don't think anyone would be complaining. Oh, that seemed brilliant. And it is 206 for Sharif Osman. Will we see him again crown his gold medal with a world record? I think we will. You can see the officials just conferring with the Egyptian coach. And it looks like we are going to have a world record attempt here from Sharif Osman. That's what we're here to see. So he's going to go for 211.5. The world record, of course, 211. This would be our first senior world record of the weekend. And no surprise at all if it was to be courtesy of Sharif Osman of Egypt. If he does manage to lift this, it will go down as a world record, but it will not go down as the lift that wins him the gold. That will still be 206. This really is just a bonus extra for not just Sharif Osman, but also the watching public as well, here in the Hacha Hassan Arena in Algiers, but also yourselves watching on the live stream. Your reward for being with us at the World Powerlifting African Championships 2018. So we await Sharif Osman's arrival. For the world record attempt, aiming to get 211.5, and here you can see that he will be doing this all alone. Coach has left him. He will stare at that bar, and he will aim to defeat that colossal weight in front of him. He's not lifted this since Rio 2016 when he got the gold medal there. This is 3.5 times his own body weight. And this is a man who takes this sport extremely seriously. 3-time Paralympic champion. He wants to win 3 more. And he said as well he would love to break the world record again. And he's using this as his opportunity to do so. Just get the extended time on this 4th lift, of course, as he has just lifted, so he gets 3 minutes in total. He's into his final minute now. And Sharif Osman goes to break his own world record. It wasn't to be, but nevertheless, fair play to Sharif Osman for giving it a go anyway. Really showing the championships a great deal of respect by the fact that he could easily have tried that again and saved it for Tokyo. But he wanted to please the crowd here in Algiers and also get a new PB as well. He does remain the world record holder with that lift of 211 back in Rio 2016, and he is the African champion once again here as well, but just couldn't quite get past the brick wall in front of him on that occasion. But this man is absolute dynamite, and he knew maybe it was just a test too far on this occasion, but do not be surprised if in the near future he does manage to conquer that weight. Job done from Sharif Osman, and very shortly he will be on the podium for the victory ceremony, which is not too far away at all, where he'll be joined by Ibrahim Doda getting silver for Nigeria and Bakary Diallo of Mali for bronze. Make sure you're with us for that in the next couple of moments.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the men's up to 59 kilograms. Please welcome the medalists.
So it's the presentation for the junior category, and the gold medal winner Sahil Masood getting that junior African record with a lift of 125, which also meets the minimum qualifying standard set for the Tokyo 2020 pathway as well. So a really successful day for the 20-year-old Libyan. And for the first time this weekend we will hear the Libyan national anthem very shortly indeed, for a man who has even more muscle than he does hair, which is quite impressive. You can tell he may not be the most used to this, about to walk away there before the national anthem is played, but we will now hear it. Libyan national anthem for Sahil Masood. So big congratulations to Sahil Masood, and you get the feeling we may be seeing a bit more of him in future years in competition as well. Very shortly we'll have the senior presentation for the men's up to 59, which will feature Bakary Diallo, Ibrahim Doda and Sharif Osman. So now the senior medal ceremony for the men's up to 59, and Sharif Osman in his rightful place, his familiar place in the middle of the podium, with Bakary Diallo to the right as we look, getting bronze, and silver for Nigeria's Ibrahim Doda. Great relief that for Bakary Diallo, and late entrant into the up to 59 after looked like he'll be in the up to 54. But didn't quite squeeze into that category, but still managed, despite being the lightest out of the 6 competitors, to be in the top 3. Abram Duda, his best lift 175, and really showed some guts after failing with his first lift of 160. Decided to scrap that and go a bit higher. Went 165, succeeded there, and his third lift got his best yet, 175. So smiles for him.
The gold medalist and the African champion representing Egypt, Sharif Osman.
And Sharif Osman getting top prize, almost going and getting the world record, but just missing out on that. However, his best lift of 206, making him once again the African champion, and he will certainly be eyeing up competitions on a more global scale that are not too far away. The Tokyo Gold definitely on the card. He'll be hoping to hear his national anthem there. He'll certainly hear it now. Champion at the World Powerlifting African Championships 2018. So great applause once again for Sharif Osman, a real celebrity in the world of powerlifting, particularly in these parts in Northern Africa. He's from, of course, northeast of the continent in Egypt. And the golden boy gets gold again with that supreme lift of 206. So that concludes the second session of the day as we well into the afternoon now in Algiers. Do make sure you join us for a double dose of women's action in our third session of the day in the women's up to 67 and up to 73. 8 competitors taking part in that, and the action starts at 2:45 British summer time and local time as well. So make sure you're back 2:45 British summer time. But until then, goodbye for now.